Your baby hears your voice before understanding language, and that changes more than exhausted parents realize during the hardest moments. Sometimes the difference between spiraling bedtime and settled sleep is not swaddle, bottle, or timing. It is your tone alone. That sounds almost too simple, which is exactly why parents overlook it while trying everything else first in the house. Your calm voice is not background noise to a baby. It is an emotional signal, a safety cue, and map. And when your voice shifts, your baby often shifts with it, even before you notice your own body tightening first. That is why a rushed goodnight can land differently than a slow one, even when the routine looks identical outside. It is why the same words can soothe on Tuesday, then miss completely on Thursday when your baby needs regulation. If you have ever whispered softly while panicking inside and wondered why it did not work, this video explains that. Because babies do not only hear sound, they read pacing, tension, breath, rhythm, and the emotional shape inside speech too. Before they understand your sentences, they understand your nervous system. Your voice carries it into the room every time first. That begins earlier than many parents realize. Even newborns are already organizing around familiar voices, especially the ones repeated calmly. Familiarity lowers alarm. A known voice tells a baby this moment belongs with the life they already know so far. That matters during feeding, diaper changes, car seat protests, dark rooms, loud gatherings, and those impossible crying stretches after sunset. Parents usually focus on what they're doing. Babies often focus first on how the doing feels to you emotionally. A pacifier offered in tension can feel different from the same pacifier offered with grounded softness and slower breath nearby. Your baby may not reject the object. They may be reacting to the emotional climate surrounding the object instead there. This is where parents feel confused. They changed nothing obvious, yet their baby suddenly seemed harder to soothe tonight somehow. Often the missing variable is invisible. It is the stress in your voice or the steadiness returning to it again. A calm voice does not mean a baby hears pretty sounds. It means their body receives fewer danger signals overall. That is why your voice matters most when nothing else seems to work and you start doubting yourself completely inside. Babies are born with immature nervous systems. They cannot regulate big feelings alone, so they borrow regulation from caregivers first. That borrowing is called co-regulation, but at home, it looks like your voice helping their body find rhythm again. When your tone slows, your baby gets information. We are safe enough to come down now, not brace anymore here. When your voice sharpens, speeds up, or turns brittle, your baby gets different information, even if your words stay gentle. The message becomes something like this: my parent is here, but something about this moment feels urgent or unsettled inside. Babies are astonishingly sensitive to mismatch. They notice when a soothing script is delivered by an activated nervous system today. That mismatch can happen at bedtime. You say it is okay while your shoulders are already preparing for another hour. It can happen during crying. You bounce faster, talk louder, offer more things, and accidentally increase the baby's load further. It can happen in public when you want everyone watching to know you are handling it, so your voice performs. But babies do not need performance. They need emotional coherence, the feeling that your body and voice are telling truth. That truth can still include exhaustion. Calm does not mean cheerful. It means less fragmented, less urgent, and more anchored. A low, steady, slower voice often works because it mirrors the state you want your baby to move toward gradually. You are not commanding calm. You are demonstrating it, like giving the nervous system a bridge instead of instructions alone. That matters because babies cannot follow reasoning when distressed. They follow rhythm, repetition, familiarity, and the feeling of containment instead. Containment does not only come from your arms. It can come from the shape and steadiness of your voice too. That is why a whispered, elongated sentence can sometimes calm faster than rocking harder, switching rooms, or offering another distraction. Longer vowel sounds stretch time. Slower speech widens the gap between sensations, giving your baby less incoming pressure overall inside. Your baby does not think, "This tone regulates me." Their body simply starts organizing around a slower pattern right away. This is one reason singing works for many babies. Melody naturally slows speech and makes emotional predictability easier to sense. Even the same lullaby repeated nightly becomes a cue. Not because babies adore playlists, but because brains adore patterns deeply. Predictable sounds lower uncertainty. Lower uncertainty lowers stress. Lower stress makes sleep, digestion, eye contact, and recovery easier later too. This is also why your first sentence after picking up a crying baby matters more than people often think too. That first sentence sets the emotional frame. Is this chaos, emergency, frustration, or a hard moment we can hold together? A calm voice says, I am with you inside this. A strained voice says, I need this to stop now. Your baby cannot understand every word, but they understand whether your voice feels like shelter or pressure right now inside. And that shows up everywhere. During diaper changes, a calmer voice can make the whole sequence feel less sudden overall. During baths, tone can matter more than the water. Warm words can help a baby trust unfamiliar sensations faster there. In the car seat, your voice may be the only familiar thing when straps, angles, and stillness all feel wrong. At the pediatrician, your calm voice cannot erase discomfort. It can still tell your baby discomfort is not abandonment today. That distinction matters deeply. Babies can tolerate stress better when stress is paired with connection, explanation, and dependable return afterward. Your voice is part of that return. It helps your baby feel guided back from the edge of overwhelm gently. Sometimes parents think silence is calmer. Sometimes it is, but sometimes silence removes the very signal your baby needed most. A baby struggling through a transition may relax faster hearing your steady narration than hearing nothing at all there nearby. Not because words themselves are magical, because the familiar cadence says someone stable is still here with me right now. This is especially powerful during changes of state, awake to asleep, hungry to fed, upset to recovered, alone to together. Babies struggle with state changes because they have less internal scaffolding. Your voice can become temporary scaffolding for them there. It says, I know where we are going. I am already there emotionally, and I will help you arrive too. That is why narration often helps before distress explodes. We are changing your diaper now, then pajamas, then cuddles together. Sequence lowers surprise. Surprise is not always exciting for babies. Often it feels like sudden loss of control instead there. Your calm voice turns daily care into something legible. The day becomes easier to trust when it sounds organized consistently. And when babies trust the sequence, they spend less energy bracing against what happens next in their bodies, physically too. Parents feel this difference most around overtired evenings. Everything is louder, quicker, and more fragile by the final hour there. When your baby misses the sleep window, cortisol rises. That can make them look more awake while feeling less regulated. Parents often respond by increasing stimulation, more bouncing, more shushing, more movement, more effort, more urgency in the voice itself. But an overtired baby usually needs the opposite signal, smaller inputs, slower rhythms, a voice that narrows the world gently. Not bigger energy, not more solutions, just steadier presence that says nothing else is required from your body right now. You can hear this in a parent who is slowed down. Their voice stops chasing the baby and starts leading. Leading does not mean controlling. It means becoming a reliable pace setter when your baby cannot set a pace yet. Sometimes the most regulating sentence is incredibly ordinary. I am here. I have you. We are going slowly together now. Simple language works because it does not ask the baby to process much. It offers rhythm before meaning arrives fully. And rhythm is powerful. The brain loves prediction, especially when the nervous system feels uncertain or flooded by sensation inside. This is why repetition matters too. Repeating the same calming phrase can become a cue long before understanding words fully. Over time, the phrase carries memory. Memory carries anticipation. Anticipation lowers alarm because the body recognizes the familiar route home. That familiar route is part of emotional safety. Safety is not only protection from danger, it is predictability in care. A calm voice helps create predictability because its steadiness tells your baby who you are in that moment emotionally there. Not suddenly frustrated, not suddenly far away, not suddenly overwhelming. The same person, still reachable, still emotionally available right now. That consistency helps wire trust, And trust becomes the foundation for everything parents want later: sleep, confidence, exploration, resilience too. Babies do not become secure because parents never get stressed. They become secure because stressed moments still include repair afterward. Repair can begin with voice alone. I got tense. I am back. You are safe with me now again here. Your baby may not understand the apology, but they understand the return of emotional steadiness and responsive presence again clearly. That is a crucial point for overwhelmed parents. Perfection is impossible, but recalibration is powerful and available many times daily. If your voice rises, you have not ruined anything. What matters next is whether calm finds its way back soon. Babies learn from that return too. Hard feelings happen, and connection can survive them without disappearing into panic or distance. That lesson may be one of the deepest gifts your calm voice gives, especially in families carrying stress already daily. Because stressed homes often become louder without anyone intending it. Speed increases, tone sharpens, small needs feel bigger fast suddenly. A deliberately calmer voice interrupts that spiral. It changes the room before it changes the baby, and that matters immensely. Babies are shaped by environments, but environments are built from tiny, repeated moments of sound, pace, touch, and response daily. Your voice is one of those moments, repeated hundreds of times. That repetition makes it more powerful than dramatic gestures. Crayon solutions rarely regulate babies as reliably as ordinary patterns. A calmer morning greeting can matter more than fancy gadgets. So can the way you say good morning after a rough night. Tone can reset the emotional day ahead gently. Your calm voice also teaches something subtler. It teaches babies what calm sounds like inside a close relationship over time. That becomes an internal template later. Long before self-soothing, babies are collecting examples of how regulation feels from you. In other words, your voice is not only solving tonight, it is shaping how comfort will be recognized later too. This matters for babies who startle easily, cry intensely, or seem extra alert. Sensitive systems hear the world loudly everywhere. For those babies, your calm voice can be especially protective. It reduces incoming intensity without withdrawing connection or warmth either. They may still cry more. They may still need more support, but your steadiness helps prevent extra layers of stress. Extra layers matter. There is the original discomfort, then the confusion of a parent's alarm joining the discomfort too quickly. A calmer voice does not erase the first layer. It helps stop the second layer from piling on so fast. That is huge for colicky evenings, teething spells, shots, travel days, and those mysterious fussy afternoons nobody can explain fully. When you cannot remove the cause, you can still change the experience. Your voice is part of that change too. Now, calm voice does not mean baby talk, unless baby talk helps you slow naturally. Forced sweetness can sound thin. What matters is authenticity with softness. Your baby trusts real calm more than exaggerated calm that sits over panic inside. For some parents, that means a low whisper. For others, it means a warm, matter-of-fact, slower voice nearby. The exact style matters less than the state underneath. Babies hear whether your body has room for them emotionally today. That phrase matters, room for them. A calm voice says your distress fits here. It does not overwhelm me today. That feeling can change crying faster than any gadget. Babies relax when their feelings do not create relational danger nearby. Relational danger is the fear that distress breaks connection. Calm voice says distress can happen and connection can stay intact. That is one reason babies often cry harder for a second when calm finally reaches them. Relief breaks the dam. Parents think, I made it worse. Sometimes the opposite is true. A safer body finally lets stored stress move through. So if your baby melts harder in your arms, do not assume failure. Sometimes safety makes release possible there too. Your voice can help that release feel organized instead of endless. It marks the moment as held, not abandoned emotionally. This is why parents sometimes cry when they finally slow down. They can feel the baby softening and themselves returning. The voice that regulates your baby often starts by regulating you. The two processes are more connected than they seem. Sometimes saying the calm sentence is how your own body catches up. your voice becomes a path back home too. That is worth remembering on the worst days. Calm voice is not a performance for the baby alone either, ever. It is also a way of choosing the kind of atmosphere you want your family to live inside daily together. And babies are always learning atmosphere before rules, before explanations, before memory you can describe. They learn emotional climate first. A consistently calmer voice teaches that home is where hard feelings can happen without everyone becoming unreachable emotionally too quickly. That lesson stays with children much longer than parents think. It becomes part of how they expect closeness to feel. So the next time your baby seems unreachable, listen to your own tone before changing every other variable first there. Maybe the missing piece is not another trick. Maybe it is your nervous system becoming more audible in gentleness today. Try fewer words. Try lower volume. Try a slower pace that your baby can lean against instead of chase today. Try speaking after one long exhale. That single breath can remove urgency your baby was hearing before you noticed it. And if nothing changes instantly, it still matters. Calm voice is cumulative, building trust through repetition more than miracles ever. One calmer bedtime will not transform everything, but many calmer bedtimes teach the body what evenings can feel like again. One steadier response during crying will not erase stress, but repeated steadiness changes what crying predicts in relationship later on. And that prediction may be the deepest part. Babies settle more easily when they expect connection to survive distress nearby. So yes, your calm voice matters during meltdowns, but it also matters in greetings, play, pauses, and repairs afterward too. It matters when your baby studies your face after a loud sound. It matters when bedtime suddenly turns fragile again. It matters when they arch during feeds, when visitors overwhelm them, and when you both feel one step from tears. Because beneath the behavior, your baby is asking something constant. Can I fall apart here and still be held safely? A calm voice does not answer with theory. It answers with tone, timing, and the feeling of available presence nearby. It says yes before your baby has words. Yes, I am with you. Yes, this feeling can pass here too. And over time, that repeated yes becomes part of your child's inner world. It sounds like calm from within later. That is why your calm voice matters more than you think. It is not decoration. It is early emotional architecture. Not because you must sound perfect, because your baby is learning what safety feels like through ordinary moments with you. So when the day is hard, do not underestimate the quiet power of slowing your voice before doing anything else. That slower tone may be the bridge your baby needed. It may also be the bridge you needed today too. In a world full of parenting tricks, this one looks almost invisible. But babies are built to notice invisible things. They notice rhythm. They notice tension. They notice when your voice becomes a place their body can finally rest inside. And when that happens, you are doing more than soothing. You are teaching safety in the language babies know best. Not lectures, not logic, not perfect routines, just a human voice carrying steadiness into someone still learning the world around. That is a beautiful kind of power, quiet, repeatable, ordinary, and strong enough to shape a developing nervous system daily. So tonight, if your baby needs you, let your voice arrive before the solution. Sometimes that is the solution itself. And sometimes the calm they find inside your voice becomes the calm they carry forward long after this season ends.